Welcome to Knife Chats. If you like this video, please take a moment to leave a comment. Thank you.
I always liked that chartreuse or the chromate green. Always thought about having a Volkswagen Beetle in that color. But then the post-apocalyptic radioactive zombie craze took off and kind of killed the color for me for the longest time. And yeah, it's like, does everything have to be in zombie green? Seriously. I don't know what came over me, but one day I was on eBay and decided, well, maybe it's time to go ahead and break down and get one of those zombie green knives. And then I thought, well, if I'm going to get a zombie green knife, why don't you just kill two birds with one stone and get one with skulls on it too? And and it should just as well be an assisted opener. So I went into eBay and I typed in zombie green assisted opener skull knife, and this is what came up: a Black Legion. And it's like, okay, I'll go ahead and grab that and see how it was. It was only like $12, so it wasn't like I was going to break the bank. And it had a couple features on it that seemed kind of interesting to me. So it's like, well, even if the knife sucks, at least it's going to have a bottle opener. So at the end of the day, I'll at least have a $12 bottle opener. And this is what I got: the Black Legion Stiletto with bottle opener, and it is an assisted opener. Moves relatively quick, and I guess I'm happy with it. At least I killed my incentive to have a zombie green skull knife. It's over with. I don't have to worry about looking for another one, and that is done. I have a zombie green skull knife for my collection, and it didn't kill me. It's only $12, and years from now I'll look back on it and laugh and say, well, at least it opens beer bottles. You can see that the blade drops right down in the middle there. It's really good. It doesn't have too much wobble when it's closed either. And let's open it slowly here. You see, that's about where the tension is on it when you're closing it. And if you can see here, when it does lock, the lock doesn't come over nearly as far as I wish it did, but it does hold the blade. And you notice you do have that area there, so you can easily grab it to close it. Let's flip it out. Notice how much it's actually holding there. It's not holding it a lot, but it is gripping it, and it is positive enough that it's not going to come undone. You'll also notice that you have torque screws all around this thing, so you could actually take the handle off and everything. See here the Black Legion on the for the tang, and then the other information on the back side here giving you the type of steel and everything else, I think. So yeah, just stainless steel, and that's the number for it, I think, BV202. You do have partially serrated, not too crazy about that. About here is where you get to the point where you have tension to close it. Let's move on to the dimensions. So what we got in this Black Legion Stiletto is a knife that is right at 5 3/4 inches, almost 6 inches long because of the bottle opener. If it did not have the bottle opener, it would be 4 3/4 inches, maybe 5 inches long. And then you've got an assisted opening blade. You've got a little flipper down there, and you also got a thumb stud. I'm left-handed. The thumb stud is useless for me, but the flipper works pretty good, and it is fast, I'll give it that much. And you see here, it's a 440 stainless steel blade, and you've got the skulls everywhere. So, I've got that covered. I've got my skulls definitely covered. Blade length is just a little bit over 4 inches. You've got a serrated section there, which is totally worthless. That is just over an inch long. So you've got about 3 inches of, actually 2.5 inches of usable blade. If they wouldn't have put that serration on there, it would have been 3.5 inches of usable blade there. It's got a pretty good lock on it. It's a liner lock, but it's got a nice ribbing here, so you can push easy and close it up. And it closes pretty well, and it pops open fast enough. It's really fast, and the blade is relatively tight. You can adjust it for speed using your torque wrench. Yeah, you would just slip it into this hole here and tighten or loosen it. I will warn you though that if you're loosening it or tightening it up, the blade is probably going to get too tight and will not flip out right. If you loosen it too much, you're going to get substantial blade wobble. But you can adjust it, which is good. And it's pretty tight. I mean, the spring, when you're closing it, you can feel that it's pretty tight. And opening wise, it does open well. I like it. It does open well. And it is sharp. I mean, it does cut fairly well. Well, until you get down into here, the serration portion here actually does kind of interfere with cutting. I mean, it seems to just snag and rip stuff. I guess it's sharp enough, but if you want to saw through something like a piece of bone or something, I guess it would be helpful. I do like the way they put some jimping up here that matches the serration there. Unfortunately, they only have it on the one side. They don't have it on both sides. And like I did mention, it closes real well. If you notice, it does have a pocket clip. It's only on one side. I actually screwed it back on for the video. I took it off a while ago. I don't like the pocket clip. It works well enough, but it's really just for right-hand carry, and I'm left-handed, so it doesn't work too well. Bottle cap works great. So if you need to open some bottles, you've got a bottle cap, which is really good. Otherwise, the knife, really nice looking. You know, if you want a zombie green skull knife, the Black Legion one's pretty good. I mean, it's well made for a nice, inexpensive knife, and it opens up really fast. But as for cool factor, yeah, it does have some cool factor if you're into zombies, but I'm not into zombies too much, so this one here opens really fast, and it's got a whole lot more cool factor on it. Of course, you can't open bottles with it, but seriously, if I was going to have one for cool factor, I'm definitely going to take the old-fashioned Italian switchblade over the zombie skull Black Legion. But hey, it's zombie green and it's got skulls on it, so how can it not be cool, right?
Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Knife Chats, and if you did, please like and share it with your friends. Comments are always welcome. Don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you'll know when the next episode of Knife Chats is up online. Thanks again. Hope to see you soon.